Let's get this party started. I like how it says upcoming chat, huh? Upcoming live. It's so weird that it does that. Checking sound. Hey, Edward. How are you, man? Man, you are number one. First like and first one on. I appreciate that, brother. How are you today, my friend? All good? Oh, doing well. Miguel Salinas, Dios te bendiga. Hey, Miguel, thank you for your comments, my friend. Thank you for your positivity, for giving me those good vibes. I appreciate it like you have no idea, brother. I get a lot of insults. Oh, man. Edward, you're the Canadian, yes? I want to make sure I remember. And I try not to yell, guys, but I get too excited, man. Way too excited. Herrera for governor. Retired from the mortgage industry. I see. Yeah. You already know I did some real estate, so we're kind of there, my friend. We're both there. Yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for your support. I appreciate it. It's not easy to want to get out there and speak the truth, to the people. People get on my case and they always ask me, did you serve in the military? Did you do this? Did you do that? What are you doing for this country? You're not doing anything for this country. And I'm just like, why? I mean, I'm a nobody, but I'm trying to try to bring truth out there, trying to get some patriots together. If there's anything that I can give people that comes from my Honduras country, right, my land of birth, it's that when we were kids, we were raised back then. I don't know about today. It's probably like here in the United States, they don't do civics like they used to. I mean, they still do, but not like they used to. Like in Honduras, they always taught us to be very patriotic. Now in Spanish, patria is nation. So when I say patriotism or patriotic, that's what it means to me. It means a person that is loyal to defending the land that they live in and that provides for them and their family. And so having the, thanks Edward for the vote, we got 2 votes, maybe 3 votes for me to run for governor, but they're not in Washington. I'm gonna have to get those signatures somewhere else. I know Trinity said that she can send some emails, make some phone calls. So we'll see. We might be running for governor here in Washington State. If God allows, we'll see. But in Honduras, we make an oath, that anybody that it's in the land must respect, honor it, and make others, this is how it says, make others respect and honor also the land that you're in. And that's why I always talk about patriotism to the American people. Now a lot of people say that I think I'm white. Well, I am light-skinned, I guess you can look at it that way, but I don't think I'm white. I don't believe. I mean, I can be black, I can be brown, I can be yellow, I can be any color anybody wants to call me on, but it doesn't matter about color. It's all about your heart. It's all about your soul. Where do you fit in this life? Do you fit on the bad side of life? Do you like to do good? Do you like to do evil? And let's be honest, I don't want to get too religious about it, but evil, it's everywhere. HG, yes, I am a naturalized American citizen, my friend. I am actually from Honduras. Our skin color is one of the least important things about us. I believe that 100%. Miguel, thanks for your prayers, and thanks for praying for those kids and family affected at the shooting in Minneapolis. That was going to be one of my topics today, and that's where I'm going with this. Like, evil is everywhere. Evil is around us, and we take the little moments of peace that we get in this life for granted. And I think, I mean, I'm a joker. I like joking, and I don't mind certain words like el toker over here. I don't mind, doing the jokes and all that stuff. But, when people lose their lives, I just can't joke about that. There was a guy that went in a shooting rampage at a Catholic, I believe it was a Catholic school. He did some shootings with, what was it? A shotgun, a hand cannon, or a handgun, and I don't know what other weapon, but there was 3 weapons. Thank you, Neil. I appreciate it. You don't like the other one, huh? Well, at least I got the color one. Some people complain about my black flag, which I think just looks cooler. But on the real, we need to know. We need to make sure that our teenagers, man, that this generation learns to respect other people. I think that's why I always say to people, they don't get it, but I always say, if you're going to come to this country, if you're going to be in this country, you got to respect the people, respect the country, respect the law. That's why I say all those things. Because when you do the basics, everything else works out. Everything else works out. And, people come over here and they think I'm kissing, bootlicker and all this other stuff. I don't mind, whatever. That's okay. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But that's why I push really hard on saying respect Americans, respect the people around you that are in this country. Don't come to this country if you're just going to come and bring violence and criminal activities. I'm not saying that we're perfect, but we need to fight and, evil with good. And I really mean that. My prayers do go to these families in Minneapolis. It's very unfortunate. I believe 2 kids lost their lives. About 17 were injured. And man, it should never happen. It shouldn't happen. And I know people think that it's just politics. Jax, thank you for the advice. I know, brother, and I try every day. I do a live. I try to be better at not letting those negative comments dictate the way that we express ourselves about, our feelings and what we really believe in. Jaime, you can't get rid of me, bro. Man, God bless you, Jaime. Hope you're having a good night, brother. Paul Rodriguez. I don't know who's Paul Rodriguez. I don't know. Hey guys, on other news, Van Jones from CNN admits that Trump is a legitimate president. Man, that bugs a lot of people, doesn't it? I will say, I love our president. I love President Donald Trump, but I am not very happy with the 600,000 Chinese students that he is allowing. Now, I don't know if this is connected, guys, and you guys can probably chime in on this, but this is what I heard. A lot of people in Canada are going through a little bit of turmoil. You guys have heard this, right? You guys probably heard me saying I want Alberta to come over here and become the 51st state. Bring BC with you. That way we can complete the whole Northwest, whole of ocean water. We will become a even stronger nation, etc. And, I was thinking about this, and this is what happened, guys. I don't know if I am late on the news, but I just heard today, okay? Now, you guys know 600,000 Chinese students, right? Allowed by Trump to come here and do studies. Now, we know that there has been some spies, and China is well known for spying on the United States of America. You guys know how they like to steal technology, right? This is how they've been treating American companies over there in China. And the reason why we get cheap products is because, they do a lot of child labor. They do a lot of cheap manufacturing. And I get that. But they do that more to influence themselves with the technology that Americans have. And not just Americans, but other countries that have manufacturers in China. China steals all their knowledge. They'd be hacking computers. They'd be stealing information on how to do certain products that maybe they don't have access to. You know what I mean? And so this is what I heard that is happening now in China. Now I was like, wait, Trump is messing up with this 600,000 students. What the hell are we doing here? President Trump, please, what the hell is going on? And then I heard that China had put some tariffs on Canada. Now, I don't know if this is just a coincidence, but China told Canadians, we don't want your oil, your canola oil no more. I think that's what it was, canola oil. And, you know what it is. Rene, don't forget, someone let them buy a lot of land in the United States. Brother, man, I'll tell you what. I have made my, what do you call it? I have made my peace accepting that people want to use their freedom of speech to be disrespectful and to shame others. And so I'm gonna put up with that. I'm gonna put up with people saying that if they want to burn the flag and whatever, that's okay. All right, it's okay. I'm gonna put up with that. But with that being said, what Renee just said, you guys know, I am 100%, and I wish that President Trump, if there was gonna be some rights being broken, if there is a right, I want those Chinese farms, the farmland, the American land, all those hundreds and thousands of American land, acres of farming land, to come back to the United States power. How does a country allow another country to own land in their country, especially a country like China that likes to spy and steal? It's almost like the devil. I'm sorry. Not the Chinese people, the government. We're talking about the government. Xi and their minions, like they try to say, Trump and his minions, right? For a lot of hateful people out there, we're just minions to them. Now, when you guys are here, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, you guys are just my people. Even the ones that hate me on here, even the Hispanics, that like Gamer Guy that wants to deport me, even those guys, they're still my people. Unfortunately, some of my people gotta be deported from this country. Okay, but they're still my people, and I hope that things change in the future. But China's obsession with spying on us, I don't like it. 600,000 Chinese students, I don't like it. So there you go. I'm against Donald Trump on that one. El Toker says, let me read a couple comments here from you guys. James says, deport Gamer Guy. Thanks, James. Appreciate you. Got my back, man. Nothing better than having my American having my back, and not that kind of having my back. You know what I mean? We don't go that way. All right. Tucker says, yes, it's protected speech. No one fights for harmonious, loving speech. That doesn't need protection. That is correct, Tucker, and I agree with that. I know. But, the whole speech thing and burning the flag, that's not talking. What we're doing, dialogue, that's speech. Expression, I get it. It's freedom of speech and expression, I guess. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't have the freedom of expression too much. But what I'm saying about the burning the flag, it's like, if we really want to have a great nation, right, you have to be responsible with your rights. Just because you have the right to freedom of speech, it doesn't mean that you're going to make somebody's life miserable. It doesn't mean that you're going to go and, like they were doing at the universities, right? They were inciting violence. And they kept saying, oh, freedom of speech. We hate Jews. Oh, the Nazis. And all, this is what they think is freedom of speech. But, man, at some point, you got to be like, hey, you know what? I don't want to be an asshole. So I'm going to use my freedom of speech with respect. All right, that's just what I'm going to leave that one there. James says, Dennis, are you pro-Trump? Absolutely, 100%. But I don't like this decision about the 600,000 Chinese students coming over here. And I will say this, I am not too concerned about American kids or teenagers or young adults going to the university, because I feel universities are overrated anyways. If anything, if you need any type of schooling, for example, you're going to be a lawyer, okay. You want to go to the best school to be the best lawyer. You want to be a doctor, okay, I get it. But if you want to be a painter, what the hell are you doing in the university paying thousands and thousands of dollars for what? Shit, I'll grab the book, I'll teach you. I'll give you a 50% discount, all right? I will teach you. We will read together, and I will go ahead and interpret everything in there in the book, and you save 50%. Tolentino, how are you, my friend? M&M, love M&Ms. Guys, thank you for getting me to 3,000 subscribers. You guys are amazing. I don't even have to ask you. All I have to do is give you thanks. Although this morning I did ask. I apologize. I know. I want to see more American patriots. I want to see more people that align with my values of making America first, of putting God first in this country. I want people to join my channel that will push the positivity and the prayers to our Lord so that this country can regain the strength that it needs. I know that there's guys out there. I don't do this full time, guys. You can look, I'm very, very tired. But I feel that the least that I can do is try to share some of the truth that I feel that is the truth. Now, I go and read books, I research, and I'm reading the news, I'm listening to the news all day long at work, and this is what I do. I do my live so that I can chat with the American people and those who have the best interest of this country in mind. And so those are the kind of subscribers that I want. I want subscribers that are going to support the United States of America. And I mean really support the United States of America. Because I see people like in DC right now, right? People think, thank you, Pamela. God bless you, sis. Hello, Jesus. Anthony, that's right. God first. I'd like to read some comments from you guys. God bless you. Thank you for that. Adam, have you been to Roatan before? Oh my God, Adam, Roatan is the best place, man. If I ever go on vacation, that's where I want to go every single time, okay? Honduras is amazing. If I wasn't here in the United States of America and I was to live in Honduras, I would be very happy, believe that. If you haven't heard my stories, believe me, I really do love Honduras. But my loyalty comes to you guys, to the American people. And of course, any Honduran that wants to come here legally, they're more than welcome. But even though they're my people, they have to follow the law. I feel like I have given an example with my own life. I don't have no criminal records. Not because I couldn't steal, not because I couldn't go hurt somebody. No, because I chose to follow the law. So if I tell my people to follow the law, it's because I follow the law. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I don't make mistakes. Of course, I ran red lights before because I wasn't paying attention. But I mean, that is about as criminal as I get, So, for a lot of people, every time on my chat, I have to explain it. My mother brought me here when I was a kid. And even then, I always wished to go back to Honduras. And to prove it, I didn't become a citizen until until 2019, I think. No, 2017. Yeah, 2017. So not too long ago, about 8 years. And the reason for that was because as a resident, I don't have to leave the country, right? I can still work. I don't get to vote, but everything else, it kind of goes with the green card, right? It goes with the residency. I am not a violent person. I don't. I notice that the older I get, the less patience I do have. So I will admit to that. But 2.5 decades, a green card holder for 2.5 decades, I was not going to stay here in the United States of America. Now, I have 7 children. My 7 children are all born here in America, so they're Americans. And I was already a resident holder when they were all born. So by legal status, they are American, born and raised here in the United States of America. But, finally, for some reason, I decided, you know what, this is the country where my children will be raised. This is the country where my children will live. And I want them to be good American citizens for this country. So what do I got to do? Number one, I got to vote. I got to be able to vote and make a decision. So how do I do that? Becoming a citizen. I went to the USICS, I don't know, United States Immigration Customs, something, right? I fill out the forms. I paid the fee. I think when I paid it, it was like $700 or $800 or something like that. And I thought, you know what? Now I'm going to be able to vote. And at least I can, that's my freedom of speech. Voting is my right. And I thought it was a wonderful thing, because this is why we fight for our country. This is why I want you patriots to help me, support me, so that together we can be a stronger voice. Right now, this country is being, being abused by communists, socialists, Marxists, foreigners, criminals that come from other countries just to come over here. A lot of times, my Hispanic, my Latino people, they think that the only migrants in this country are Mexicans. But that's not it. It's not just Latinos that come here. It's people from China. And I'm talking about adult, grown Chinese people. We don't know if these people are really, the humble, hardworking ones. We don't know. If they come here illegally, we're screwed. We get people from the Middle East. We have taken terrorists that have been on the terrorist list, captured by ICE. I mean, it's not just let's deport all Latinos. No. And, like I've said this many times, I want my Latino people to get papers. I really do. But, when I'm looking at what's happening here, especially here in Washington State, like we went from 10th place or something like that as the most criminal state or whatever. And I just heard that we're like the worst city in the country. Like, how the hell that happened? I thought Chicago won that title. But apparently, we are also in that space. And I was reading here on some of the news. I just happened to go through Yahoo, but in Federal Way, in 5 in Tacoma, just south of Seattle, killings by gangbangers. And we're not talking about just MS-13. We're talking about other gangs that are being risen here from middle of 2000, early to middle 2000. And people, they just don't say anything. It's a sanctuary city here. I would say it's a sanctuary state, because crime goes rampant around here and it's no big deal. It's starting to turn like New York, right? In New York, they saw the guy that went shooting on the building. They saw him go there angry with an automatic weapon. I think it was an automatic weapon. It's an assault weapon. Right? I think that's what it was. I think it was the guy that shot some people at some NFL building or something like that. I can't remember. But the point is, like, if somebody's getting beat up, New Yorkers are like this. Yeah, poor bastard. He deserves to get his ass kicked, probably. They don't care about crime. They can see somebody, very rarely, right? If somebody gets their purse snatched, somebody steps up or whatever. But for the most part, New Yorkers, they're so used to crime, they just let things happen, and this is why Donald Trump is stepping in, and this is why I support what he's doing. But I think that a little bit of what we can do, we need to do it together. I don't like to see that Washington State Seattle and all these areas over here are, becoming more criminalized. That is not what we want in our country. And it's not just here in Washington State. Every single state should be taken care of. I know that, the National Guard is not always the answer, but what can we do if our governors don't step up? I mean, the governor should be like, hey, listen, if the governor wanted for crime to go down and they felt that the police was overwhelmed, they themselves will say, you know what, guys, I love you guys so much. We want to protect the Washingtonians here in Washington State. I'm going to bring the National Guard to support the police. Instead, you know what the rules are over here in Washington State for the police? The police says that if they arrest an illegal criminal alien, there's nothing they can do about it. They have to release them. And they do this over and over, and people are dying. Crime is going up the rise, and they keep releasing the same people with multiple felonies. How does that happen? I tell you who it doesn't happen to that much. The black community here. They pay the price, but illegal immigrants, they get released a lot faster than our black Washingtonians. And that's a fact. I can tell you that right now. So if my Latino people want to say that I'm a sellout and I'm this and that, no. I am in this country and I have a duty to make. Since I can't serve in the military, I'm getting too old. Since I can't do anything else, the best that I can do is trying to join my American patriots, as many as I can find. And maybe, just maybe, I want to find enough patriots. And I'm not talking Republicans. I love Republicans, but I also love Democrats. Not the ones today. The ones in government today, that's not Democrats. Those are communists that are using the Democratic name. And every time they say that we are fighting them against democracy, they are the ones destroying democracy. They are the ones using the machines that are cheating on elections. You wonder why you have a 5% approval mayor in a Democratic city? It's because they cheat. People don't want them in office. How can you have a 5% approval rate? How can you have a -8 approval rate and be the mayor of a Democratic city? People say, oh, well, most of the crime, highest crime is in Republican states, on red states. Yeah, but what cities? It's not the Republican cities. It's the Democratic cities. This is where the crime is happening, on red states. And this is just proof that the Democrats right now, they are not patriots. Now, I don't know how else to say it, so I don't want to offend you if you're a Democrat. But that's the name that they carry, okay? I just say this. I say patriots because Democrats are also patriots. Republicans are also patriots, right? So any American citizen, even residents that aspire to be a citizen, you guys are all patriots. And that's the kind of people we want in this country. So right now, the Democrats are the beast, okay? So I know over 2 million Democrats, even though they're loyalists. There's nothing wrong with being loyalist, but being a patriot is above loyalism, okay? They have noticed that the Democrats have been lying. They have been brainwashed. They keep using the same words and the tactics over and over, and they think they're going to convince us so that we follow their airways. But that's not how it works. Do you know how I know if somebody's brainwashed? When they say, hey, I know somebody's dying over there, but crime is okay. Hey, you know what? We didn't get 700 people killed this year. It's only been 500. That's okay. We don't need that. We don't need the National Guard. We don't need more police. What we need is affordable housing. That's what they say, affordable housing. One-eyed prospector. I miss patriotism in this country. And I agree. Patriotism is been thrown out the window. I watched this video from, I think it was the Hodge twins that were playing the video. I can only hear it because I'm working. They were playing this video about this Muslim entitled foreigner, which I'm sure she's not an American citizen. She had some type of car, like a little road rage with somebody. I couldn't see, guys. All I can do is hear. But she was ramping and going off. I'm a Muslim, and what did he say? The white man, he's so Islamophobic, and it turns out she was the aggressor, and she's like, "Don't touch me. I am Arab. You are beneath me. You are fallen angel," to the police. And I'm serious. The way that she was talking, I was like, okay, that lady is possessed. There's got to be some type of demonic force behind her. And I believe that is happening here in our country. Guys, it is a real thing. It's spiritual fight. It's real. Demons are loose. Look at all the love that I get from these evil people on the chat. No matter how much I love them, no matter how much I want to wish them well things, they want to be aggressive. You guys that are listening right now, you patriots know that if you go to a protest where the Democrats, right? Because most people nowadays, they get paid. And when they get paid, they make a bunch of numbers on the street. And this is what happens. The real Democrats, they go, oh, they're protesting. They're Democrats. We got to show some support. And so the good Democrats, they think they're supporting the good cause. They go and they get caught with these rioters. They get caught amongst the people that hate this country. And so they're making Democrats look bad. But I don't believe that. And so when I see over 2 million Democrats supporting Donald Trump now, it brings me hope. It tells me that there's a lot of patriots in the Democratic Party. And that is something exciting to me in the times that we live in. So, man, you guys should be excited. I thank you all for being a true patriot to this country. If it is true that me being a naturalized American citizen doesn't make me an American, at least I'll take this comfort that I show my love for America. I show a love for my American brothers and sisters, even if they don't see me as one of their own, which many do. And I appreciate that. And I thank you. I need to still speak the truth, because they say the truth shall set you free. And this country needs somebody that's going to protect it. If we don't protect this country, no one else will. So many criminals have crossed our southern border. And not just that one, but the northern one as well. There was a time in the 80s and 90s where I heard things from our Latin people before I even came to this country. Let's go to Canada because it's easier to go across the border, they say. I don't know how many people come through there. But when I see that border, it's wide open. It's just it's just a road dividing Canada and the United States of America. It's just a neighborhood. You see people walking from one house to the other. They go from Canada to the United States. It's very easy. And then, I don't know, maybe they have some sort of surveillance that people are respecting a little bit more. But a lot of people, most people come from the southern border. You know, I'm going to tell you something. I'm in Washington State. You guys know that, right? We're on the northwest of the country. Excuse me. We're on the northwest part of the country. Listen to this. Mexico was getting fentanyl from China. Mexico was transforming this into other drugs. They smuggled them to our country here in the United States of America. I lost my brother-in-law to fentanyl right outside our house. I had to feel his cold body, his eyes just done. That's painful. Man, that thing traumatized me for weeks. It broke my heart. I didn't know what to do all day. I couldn't go to work. I couldn't do nothing. But I tell you this because I am in the very corner, the northwest of the United States of America. And fentanyl was going rampant over here. And a lot of these gangbangers, even the new gangs that are being born as we speak, they have issues with selling fentanyl drugs. They were lacing other drugs like marijuana. They caused some type of hardcore, opioids that people thought it was, no big deal. Laced with fentanyl. Thousands of people dying from the drug, right? And then a lot of people think, well, if the Americans didn't use the drugs, then I guess we wouldn't be sending drugs to you. Like they're doing us a big favor. It's kind of like people when they quote the Constitution. It's kind of like people when they say, oh, I deserve due process in this country. Yeah, well, you didn't think about due process before you broke the law 3 times coming into this country, did you? So how is it that a criminal can claim a due process that doesn't even belong in this country, but then we, the taxpayers, have to pay millions and billions of dollars in court fees and whatever so that they can get their due process? How much money you think that we're going to spend in 20 million illegal immigrants so that they can get their due process? I really hate it when people try to put some law to defend themselves, but they themselves have broken the law that would have not allowed them to be in that situation in the first place. How can you blame the government from deporting people when they know that if they come here illegally, the one thing that is for sure is that they will get deported? Why would they come here and make families while they're illegal? I would have hoped that at least if you come here illegally, you would wait until you become legal so that your children can have the full right and benefit. But no, they want anchor babies. They want the shortcut. They want to cut the line. And that's not how it works. You just don't cut the line. Donald Trump, and I don't know if you guys know this, but Donald Trump tried to make about over 1 million illegal immigrants, went to Congress and say, listen, we need a budget to secure the border. How about we make this many illegal aliens legal, green card holders? Congress said no. He went back again and said, I need this money so I can build this wall. I need money for my agents. How about we allow 700 and something thousand illegal immigrants, check this out, and every DACA document holder legal? Congress said, nope. You know why? Because they hate Trump. You know why our cities are full of criminals? Because they hate Trump. They don't care what sacrifice they make with the American people as long as Trump looks like the bad orange man. It's a fact. You see it. Nobody can tell you. Nobody can show you. Only you, if you decide, you're going to go and see it. Bob Ferguson was asked a question. So, because we're a sanctuary city, this guy that committed this crime did not get deported. He got released, ends up killing somebody when he should have been deported. Bob Ferguson says, oh yeah, we're working very hard to fix that. No, you're not. No, you're not. And then somebody told me, maybe a week or so ago, somebody told me, are you an economist? And I said, no, I'm a common sense American, right? And he's like, well, you don't know anything about economy. And I said, well, what do you mean? Well, you know what tariffs are? I was like, yeah. Tariffs is an introductory tax, a payment that somebody has to make when they do importations from other countries. And, oh, yeah, but the prices are getting high on food and all this other stuff. It's like, well, that has nothing to do with tariffs. The food that we have in our store is local. It's national. There is no tariff of national. I'll tell you what is taxed nationally. It's gas, sales tax goes up, property taxes, you pay more taxes off your paycheck. All that stuff gets raised up. And little by little, everything becomes more expensive. And I said, and let me tell you something. A lot of money gets lost on NGOs. You know what he said? You should go get a class on economics so that you can learn why the economy is going bad. What do I find out today? They did an audit on our government here in Washington State. You know what they found? I love it when I'm right. I love it when I'm right. They said there was $220 million missing. Somebody dropped the ball. They gave money without assurances. Nobody's able to track it. The money is gone. Not only did they do that, but the amount of money that they lost turned out to be about $1.3 billion here in Washington State. And what do they say? Oh, well, thank you, Audit, for bringing this up. This is something that is really important, and we should address it. And thank you for doing your job. Now we're going to keep a better eye. We're not idiots. We know what you do with the money. See, they don't have to ask you. So if they're going to give money to NGOs, they don't need the taxpayers' approval. They just use it. That's why they use the NGOs to launder money. That's just what I see, okay? That's what I think is my own opinion. Nobody's telling me to say this. We were at $16 billion profit margin in Seattle at some point. The last governor that we had pooped all over the Washington State. And even though we believe the majority of the Washingtonians didn't vote for him, we believe they cheated the election. Number one, they said this. They stopped counting votes. Listen to this. Americans, listen to this, please. Listen. You gotta listen to this. I remember listening to the voting results. Now, there is an amount of registered voters here in Washington, okay? Okay, some people voted while they were dead. I get it. The registration, bada bing, bada boom, I get it. I don't believe that should be right, but I get it. You know, at least there were American citizens that were dead, right? But here is the other thing that just blows my mind. And I said, okay, well, let's listen and see how many votes we get, right? So there was an X amount of votes of registered voters, okay? American citizens. Peep this. Stay with me. Watch this. And then all of a sudden, we reach an amount of votes that supposedly is greater than the registered amount of votes. And they said, okay, we're calling it. Jay Inslee stays as the governor of Washington State. I said, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, you got to count every single vote. You know why you got to count every single vote? I want to see how many of them are fake. If the amount of votes over exceeds the amount of registered voters, we'll find out that you cheated on the election. And what do we find out now? I said, well. They said, well, only 33,000 illegal immigrants voted. What? Only 33,000 illegal immigrants voted on our election. Do you see why the corrupted communists using their name as Democrats today, why they don't want you to vote in person, why they want mail-in ballots? Is very clear. Many mayors of certain cities were caught grabbing ballots from the mail drop-offs, and then changing them. How easy it is to do. And this is why they don't want to have show ID, show proof of citizenship. And remember back in the day, you used to put your thumb on the ink and I voted. They don't do that anymore. They look at your paper and they don't even care if it is you or not. Oh, okay. Yeah, here you go. The booth's over there. The booth is over there. Go ahead and vote. They don't care. And that's where I'm at. Let's see what we got. I'll read a couple of comments from you guys. Not the bad ones. Hold on, I want to read this one. Let's see. Mark Jarman says, dude, blame yourself for living in a democratic state. I just drove from North Carolina to Washington State. Blame yourself for stupidity. I would agree with that. You know, I would agree with that. But here's the thing. I was given a chance. Now, I don't believe that everything is just, you know, it just happens. No, I believe God has a plan. And maybe I was made to come to Washington State to live here most of my life so that I can see what it was, what it is, and what may be for this state. So guess what? From the experience that we grab in life, we need to learn to make better decisions for the future. This is why I have such a big interest on our history of this country. I know the atrocities that were committed in this country. They are almost the same as the ones they committed with us in Honduras with the Spaniards. But you will always hear this from the corrupted Democrats. They always bring some type of native person to make a claim over the land. And they always say, oh, this land is stolen land and it belongs to this tribe. And wait a minute. So two things. How did that tribe get it from another tribe? How? They use force. It is the law of the land. That's how you get the land. Whoever is the strongest tribe wins the land. And the rest got to line up. They got to be in line. That's the way it is. The truth is, whether you want to call it the white man or the European, I don't care what you want to call it, they won. And God did not allow 90% of them to survive. I don't know why. Maybe He just took them to heaven so they didn't have to suffer in this life. Maybe it could have something to do with all the witchcraft and savagery that they were doing back then. You guys know the stories about the Apaches, right? You hear the stories about if you go in the wrong part of a territory of a mountain, you get shot, you get hit with an arrow. I'm telling you, history is rough, but what we have today is what it is. And look at Alberta. Alberta has a chance to join the United States of America. And the only reason why I would support that is because there's a lot of conservative people. Now, what I think about conservative people is that they like to work hard for their money. They never blame the rich man for being poor. They never blame the white man for keeping themselves down. These people just work hard and are resilient. And this is what patriots do for their country. That's just what I believe. That's just my opinion. Take it as you will. But I believe that I have lived long enough in the state of Washington to know the difference of what a beautiful Seattle looks like and what a dirty, I mean, these guys just put whipped cream on a pile of dump. That's all they did. They did some work on the piers here in Seattle, and that's just like putting whipped cream on a pile of dump. That's all they did. Because people are still homeless. People still have nowhere to go. Housing is way overpriced, very expensive. But they don't tell the people. See, I've done real estate before. I was a leasing agent for apartments. I know how real estate and property works. And I'm going to tell you, high demand means high prices. And the one thing that these blue cities will never tell you, they will say this: we need more affordable housing. Well, that doesn't work. So real estate developers, what they do is they will say, okay, we're going to make 6 buildings. These 2 buildings right here will be affordable housing. They will pay 30% less than the regular person. And then they're going to charge high rent on the rest of the property so that they can make up for the loss of the other property, right, that is being low income. What other thing happens? They have millions of illegal people coming at once, and what happens is it doesn't allow See, when we have migration, it's a great thing. And Marco Rubio, Secretary Marco Rubio has put it exactly how it should be. He says, we love migrants, and we do. He said, and migration is great. But mass migration is really bad for your country. And I have seen the same things happen in Europe, in the UK. The UK, they're actually putting people in jail if they say anything negative about the illegal Muslims in their country. And these people, they don't come to help. They're entitled. They say, you're the white man in a white country, and the Bible says that you're supposed to treat me good and welcome me and help me and feed me and clothe me. Oh, they believe in the Bible for that, don't they? But when it comes to following the rest of the Bible, nope, I can't do that. I'm Arab, I'm Muslim, nope. Islam, nope. I can't follow the white man. Not that time. It's the same thing that illegal immigrants do over here, except it's not a Muslim or a Christian thing. They come over here and say, oh, the Constitution says we have due process. They didn't care about due process when they were breaking the law to come across that border, did they? My opinion is just what I think, what I believe. But I believe it's a fact. People come over here and what they say, oh, the Bible says that you're supposed to love me no matter what. That's not what it says. I'm supposed to love you, but not what you do. Because if you want to be a demon, I'm not supposed to love that. Now, I'm supposed to love you because you could repent and in time you could be saved. But if you choose to be a demon follower, a Satan worshiper, there's nothing I can do for you. And guess what? As much as I love you, if you want to dive into the fire, that's you. There's nothing I can do for you. So yes, we love you, but that doesn't mean that we're going to allow you to break the law. Jesus says, give Caesar what's Caesar's. I'll put it in different words so that you understand. Give the government what is the government's, and give to God what's God's. That's what I believe. That's how I interpret it. Hopefully, that gives you some enlightenment. Thank you, my dear friend Edward. Much love to you, brother. I appreciate your support. You're awesome. Joshua Williams says, read the Bible. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I will continue to read it. Chang Bang says, flags backwards. It's not the flag. I don't know. Thank you for mentioning that. I don't know why it shows in reversed. I tried the settings. I have the S25, if you guys know what that is. I got the S25 Ultra, and I've changed the settings, and I've done lives with both, like with the flipping the screen or not. And for some reason, every time it's here, it just shows that way. I don't know. So I know I can never have this "Make America Great" message the way that it's supposed to. So it is what it is. But thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate that. It's the camera orientation, switch it to mirror. Yeah, I've done that. On the iPhone, it does. It's easier to do that way. But on this phone, the settings, they're really confusing. I looked at videos, I look at the instructions, and I just, oh man. I wouldn't put the Mexico flag upside down. You know what the flag upside down means? Mario Heredia. Con respeto, papuchón, con respeto, papuchón. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some chances to give me a real question. Distress. I thought distress was halfway down, but is it upside down? You might be right. I don't remember. Thank you, C. Much love to you. Chanbang says carbon. I don't know what that is. You don't care about the Epstein list. Hey, listen, thank you for mentioning the Epstein list. This time, I'm actually glad that you brought it up, because for the longest time, Democrats, or I don't know how to say it so that I can describe them, but for the longest time, people have been saying that Donald Trump is trying to do so many things at once to avoid the Epstein files. But here's what I think. I think that a lot of people keep using the Epstein files as a distraction so that other patriots don't see how good Trump is doing for our country and our people. See what I did right there? Turn the tables on them, baby. Turn the tables on them. Let's see. Victims are people that say that they are oppressed are victims of ignorance. And I don't mean to insult anybody, just letting you know that there's people out there like this. They are lazy, and they make bad decisions. That's how it works. I heard those lines before, and I like it. Hey, Jora, how are you? Smith's 1975. If that's your year, you're about 6 months older than me. You are oppressed. Man. Yeah. See, victimhood is rewarded these days, and that is the problem with illegal immigrants. And I'm not gonna say all of them, but after what we see happening in Europe, man, these people talk about the Christian country like they owe them the money, and they're savages. They bring their their own culture. So people go to a foreign country, they come and visit, and they want to bring their own rules with them. And we, the American people, are supposed to follow them? Why is that? Here, invite me over to your house. I'll tell you what to do in your house. Would you invite me? Would you be happy that I'm in your house? Hey, listen, I'm your guest. Can you go vacuum over there? Matter of fact, I just used the bathroom and I sprinkled the seat. Can you go clean that for me, please? Thank you so much. By the way, I'm hungry. Make me some food. I will be the best guest, because that's what it means to be illegal in a country. It means that I don't respect the laws of that country. I don't respect you. I will force myself on everything that you care about and what you find sacred, and I'm just gonna burn it. I don't like that, you see? So I feel that, if a foreigner wants to come here, by all means. But as you are in this country, you respect the laws of this country, you respect the people. How many times have I seen asylum seekers? I'm going to give you this example, and I heard this from Marco Rubio, okay? Our Secretary Marco Rubio. He says, I know Cubans that have been in this country for 40 years working hard, and they have been able to retire, and they get their check. And then another Cuban comes seeking asylum. They come here, they get all this free food, they don't have to work, they get all this free money. And what I find interesting, he says, that same asylum seeker from Cuba, the next year, he visited Cuba 12 times. What? Wow. And that's why the criminals, that's why these people defend that. They defend illegal immigration because they take advantage of the power-hungry, corrupted politicians that they know they benefit from all the money. You know how many illegals work under the table? They make cheap labor, which allows for bad American business owners to practice illegal hiring. They make the money, and of course, they have to pay more taxes, but they don't have to give benefits, right? They don't have to pay good wages. And in turn, what happens? Americans don't have good wages. Residents that are able to work, or even people that come with a working visa. I'm going to give you an example. And this is so sad, guys. You say you love migrants, yes? Yes, we love migrants. Do you know what's happening on the farms on Eastern Washington? There is a lot of migrants, specifically from Mexico. They have a working visa, which means that they have the right to work here. And they go out there and they thank you, Trinity, and welcome. I seen you. I'm sorry I didn't say hello. I wanted to keep my line. But they have permission to work, right? We're excited. Hats off, right? But what's happening? So many illegal immigrants have come to this country that those that actually got work permits to be here got laid off. And now they got illegal immigrants working on the farm. And because this is a blue state, a sanctuary city state, they get away with it. I believe that there is some people out there with some lawyers trying to do something about it, but that's how bad illegal immigration is. Especially the mass migration that we saw for the last 4 years. Horrible. Horrible. You know, only the people that benefit from it will defend it. You know, another thing that I saw a lot of protesters in DC, right? And what's crazy is that all the people that actually live there, I didn't see many of them on the protest. What I saw was paid protesters from other states. You know, maybe they should keep the mask on all the time. That way nobody can recognize them when they're in different states protesting, acting like they are part of that city. They are not part of that city. You know, I wish they would go over there to Chicago, where all the yummies are and all these gangbangers are. Yeah, go over there and protest on the ghetto neighborhoods. Go do that and see how it goes. They won't last a week. Let's see. Mendoza, once they're given a removal order by a judge, ICE immediately takes them into custody for removal, of course, after due process, which I believe they shouldn't get. Unless they committed another criminal crime to find out how much they're going to be doing in jail before they get deported. That is the only time you get a due process in my book. Francisco Reyes, how would you fix the illegal immigration problem? Number one, I think governors should really sit down together. Just all governors should sit down together and be like, listen, we have an illegal immigration problem. Trump has been deporting as many as they can. I will go with this first. Anybody that has been in this country from 2000 and under, let's get them papers. Make them green card holders, not citizens, green card holders. And if they do qualify and they seem to be good citizen material, then let's make them citizens. But as of right now, Social Security is being paid to illegal immigrants. How does that work? I never qualified when I busted my back, and I'm legal. I don't know how these people get it. I will tell you something though. We were $16 billion on the positive mark here in Washington for the budget, and now that we got more illegal immigrants, we are negative almost $20 billion. I wonder what happened. I wonder what happened in the last 3-4 years. Oh man, somebody bring some trans women are not women, man. Trans are men. If you are born with a penis, you are a man. If you have a vagina, you are a female. There's not such thing as trans women and trans men. Get that out of your head. That is not what God loves. You guys are way above the sin level that you should be. We need to keep our moral sanity intact. Here's a real question. I just heard that just now the National Guard is getting weapons. Thank you, Cap. Much love to you. Right back at you. You mean they've been 0 murders for 13 days and they didn't have weapons? How do they keep the peace? Now I feel like I'm being bamboozled. I feel like somebody's lying to me. They're just now getting weapons? Am I tripping? Is that a real thing? That's crazy. What kind of protection was that? Man, who mentions burger, man? I haven't had dinner. I'm hungry. Man. Mr. Brad. That is crazy. How the hell do they maintain the peace? What, tear gas? Water pistols? What the hell were they using? You know what's sad? When I see people, what can you do? Well, I guess if I'm not saying that Trump is or I am or anybody else is, but I guess our Lord Jesus Christ did tell us, imagine if they do all the things that they have done to me, the Son of God, imagine what they will do to you for trying to make peace. Somebody once said, if you want respect from people, or if you want people to stop hating on you, just fail, and then you're fine. People want you to fail. People that come in here cursing and saying all this bad stuff, insults, they just can't stand that you are a successful country. They can't stand it. That's why when they come here, what they do, they make it look like trash from where they come from. Let's step down in California, where all the neighborhoods where there's mostly Hispanics, it looks like Tijuana. I don't care what they say. I go to some areas where it's heavily populated by Hispanics, it looks like Tijuana. There is a lot of Hispanics that I know, okay? They don't like that. But you know what they have different? You know what the difference is between the Latinos that are not like that and the Latinos that are like that? The Latinos that are kind of like the white people, right? If you want to say it that way. The Latinos that respect the law, that are educated, that respect the people, they live in good neighborhoods. They have success. But the criminal people, the ghetto people, they never seem to get out of it. And we have shootings and violence and gangs, all in heavily populated Latino communities. I don't want to hear this crap about the white man put all Latinos in the same community. Like some ghetto black people say, oh, well, the crime amongst blacks is heavy because we're all black. Well, no, it's because you're a criminal. Ghetto. This is why a lot of black people that have common sense, they are resilient and they get out of that. You see, they change their mentality. They go from breaking the law, from being oppressed, from being criminalized, from being nothing compared to the white man. They free themselves and they become resilient. And they finally come out of that. And where do they go? Where the white people are. So who's the evil ones? I'm not saying all black people. I'm just saying heavily populated areas are pretty ghetto. Black and Latino communities. And that's a fact. I lived in California for a couple of years. I live in Yakima for a year. Heavily Spanish populated. Ghetto. Ghetto AF. It's no joke. Isaac, 100%. Latinos for Trump, baby. One world under God. Christ is King. Amen. God bless you, brother. God bless America. God bless all your families. May the strength of the Lord be with you guys. I mean it. In the name of Jesus Christ. I mean it. I don't understand why they make it ghetto, guys. You know, the Chicago mayor was asked if they got funds to get 5,000 more police officers, would that help reduce the crime? The mayor's most favorite response after denying to answer yes or no was, we need more affordable housing. What? For what? You have taken all the affordable housing from the black community and you're giving it to illegal immigrants. Ouch. That was a stab right there, huh? That truth hurts. That truth hurts, but it's true. I know I got a lot of black brothers out there that feel the same way. Educate yourself, says Standing. You got experience in real estate and how the property works for leasing apartments, leasing communities? You don't. I do. I know how it works. I know how it works. An American can come in and apply for an apartment at my community, and I'm going to run his background. He's legal. He's got a social security. There is a tracking system behind that. Guess what? He has bad credit. Nope, you don't qualify. Can't live here. Again, an illegal immigrant. Social security is no good. Pulls up nothing. All right, well, you just got to pay one more month of deposit. Welcome home. That's the difference. I know now he's a pastor. Really good friends. I grew up here in America, in the United States of America. My first couple of years was with the Navajo tribe. Very beautiful people. They taught me a lot of the stuff that they believe and do. I'm very proud of that. That's my Navajo family here. And then the rest of the time that I have been here, many years, I spent with Mexico City Mexicans. And I say that specifically for a reason. Very funny people, but man, we used to drink all the time. Crazy. Now, a lot of those people become Christians. And like quite a few of them are actually pastors for Hispanic community. And they work really hard to give people advice. And they tell people, listen, if you manage to get papers here, man, glory be to God. But be ready, because if they deport you, that means it's not God's will. It is what it is. And believe me, these people, they depend on churches being filled with a lot of Mexicans, Salvadorians, Guatemalans, Hondurans. There is this brother that I used to go to church with when I used to go to the Spanish church. He's Guatemalan. He didn't want to get deported. He left. He found a woman down there, has a few kids, and he said he's never been happier. He said, I don't understand why I thought that I have to live in the States. He said, I thought it was God's will. I thought he was calling me over there. And we told him, well, he did. And you did a wonderful job, because he's a musician, okay? He's a worshiper. Beautiful voice, great talent, plays like 4 or 5 different instruments. The guy looks happy. I see him on Facebook. The guy always looks happy. He always tells me, I'm blessed. That's crazy. I don't check my Facebook that much. I don't use it as much. I rarely go in there once in a while. But he's always happy. And man, he has his own family. They live beautiful in Guatemala. I'm telling you, I don't understand why people don't want to believe that. Why do they think that they have to be here? I don't understand. All I'm saying is, if you are here, be respectful. love the land, love the people. You got to assimilate. You cannot come from your country and make the United States of America as your country where you come from. Assimilate. We have enough Mexican culture here. We have enough Latino culture here. There's plenty of cuisine. There's plenty of Asian cuisine, Italian, French, whatever. We have everything already. All you got to do is assimilate. If you don't know what assimilate means, it's be like them. And what I'm hearing or what I'm reading here is you're not one of them. You're not white. You're a traitor to your race. I'm a human. What race? People come over here racist. You think you're brown? You're not brown. You're racist. I don't look at color like that, man. I don't know. I used to say I'm colorblind, but people never understand that. You see, when I was in Honduras, Honduras is made of a lot of black people, a lot of mixed people, Asian. You look at me, I'm from Honduras. I am native with Spaniard mix. We are all mutts in Honduras. But you know what we call ourselves? Hondurans. In other words, we have a nick called Catracho, and that was given after a leader that showed the people how to evolve from where we were before. There were some battles being fought in Honduras, and that's why we're Catrachos, in a short little history. But we're just Honduran. Black people are Honduran. Mixed people, Honduran. Asian, Honduran. I'm Honduran. Every Indian, Honduran. So when I say America, I see the same thing, except it's the nationality that I am naming. Honduras is a nation. Honduran is a nationality. United States of America. This is why we're American. A nationality. The United States of America is a nationality. Mexico. United States of Mexico. It's a nationality. That's why you're Mexican. Salvador is a nationality. That's why you're Salvadorian. Oh, man. Does that make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to me when people say, oh, I'm African American. What? African? Well, which country? No, I'm just African. What the hell, the whole continent? No, that's a nationality. American is a nationality. So you cannot be African American. You don't belong to that nationality. You don't even know what the nationality is. That's a continent. You got to say, I'm Gambian American. Okay. I'm Morocco American. Okay, I get it. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. I'm Ghana American, Ghanaian American. I'm Egyptian American. Those are nationalities. Now, if you want to say I'm black, okay, yeah, I understand. You know, if you say you want to be a Native American, that's okay. I'm a native in Honduras. That doesn't mean anything. Here in the United States, it's American. Anybody that is an American citizen, it's just that, an American. There's no color. Obviously, we tell the police, oh yeah, light-skinned man, really not bronze tan guy, a black guy, Asian man. We have our descriptions because we're so used to describing ourselves that way, but that doesn't mean that we are racist. That's not what it means at all. So let's see. Skizzy says, Dennis, I agree with you as an American. Hearing his ghetto way of speaking and mispronouncing words constantly, it's like a spitting on the flag. Oh, man. I will never spit on this flag. This flag is sacred to me. The only time that I agree with people burning the flag is when it's old, ripped, torn apart, and you're replacing it with a new one. Let's see. Ariel Sanchez says, is the very truth. Very true. CG Dennis speaks perfect English. Eat your heart out, bro. Man, Americans love me, bro. You know why they love me? Because I love their country and I love them. When you respect the people, respect comes back to you. If you met me in real life, I guarantee you we'll be friends. Having differences of opinion, brother, it means nothing. Okay? That's okay. We all have difference of opinion. But I can tell you, if you see me in person, I have never once looked at a Mexican or a Hispanic, a Honduran, Guatemalan. I have never looked at a Hispanic and be like, man, that guy is probably illegal. I don't do that. I love everybody. As a matter of fact, even when I do know that they're illegal, they speak not one word of English, not one. And I know they're illegal. You know what? Hey, compa, you hungry? Let's eat. You know, when I'm with my wife, I'm a little bit different. I don't trust people, you know what I mean? But when I'm by myself, man, you know, hey, let me buy you a burger. Hey, how long you been waiting here? Like they go to Home Depot, right? How long you been waiting here? It's crazy because some of these guys look like they can kill you. But, you know, even when I have had work, you know, like construction or anything, I come over there and I try to offer them like a good paying wage. And like I remember this one time, I was getting paid $2,800, guys, to lay this, what do you call those bricks that you put on the, like on the property? I can't remember what they are right now. But the point is, I went over there. I'm like, you know what? Let me bless somebody. I'm going to pay somebody $20 an hour, right? In 5 hours, that's $100. And this cash, no taxes, right? I have to pay tax. They don't have to pay tax. I say, okay. I go over there. Pavers, thank you, Uncle Joe. Man, you're the man. Love you, bruh. Love you. Thank you for that. And I said, hey, I'll give you $20. I need somebody to help me lay some pavers. And he said, how much? I said 20. Hell no. I am not kidding you. I offered them $20 an hour. I said, he said, hell no. I said, hey, I know, you know, we know, everybody knows you're illegal. Why would you say no to $20 an hour? I'm not rich. I'm not going to make money on this project. I'm just blessing you. Like, technically, I'll tell you what, I ended up paying an extra $200. I made no money. I made negative $200. And what was my crime? What was my mistake, you say? I wanted to bless them. Call me a hypocrite, call me biased, you can. The point is, I love my Latino community. But if ICE comes for them, it's for a reason. And it's not just because they're going around there looking at brown people. That's not how it works. You can be Mexican. If they're looking for you, they're going to say, can I see your ID? You show them your ID because I'm sure you have one, right? Washington State provides ID even to illegals. So you show them your ID. We're not looking for you. Have a nice day, sir. Thank you for your cooperation. Hey, let me see your ID. La migra! And everybody just starts scattering like roaches when the light is turned on. I don't know if you ever had roaches, but we had roaches before. And those bastards are hard to get rid of. But it's a true story and it's a fact. Moises was born here. Do you have an accented English? Be honest. Here in America, bro, everybody has an English accent. Accented English. Nobody really speaks English in America, by the way. The real English is from England. Here, we speak American English, which means that we have a lot of native and English mixed tongue. That's the way I would put it. I don't know how to say it. But yes, my English is not perfect. But do thank you guys for saying that I speak good English. Yes, Skizzy, roaches, that's ghetto. It is. In Honduras, there was always roaches, my friend. We never got rid of those in Honduras, I'll tell you that right now. Not that I remember, at least. Let's see, I was wrong for asking my wife and girlfriend if she had papers on our first date. Had to make sure, bro. Here, guys, okay. There's nothing wrong if you meet a woman and she's illegal. So what? If you like her and you can, you know, you want to make a family with her and you got papers, well, that's what you bring to the table. And then you ask, okay, well, what do you bring to the table besides your hotness, right? What do you bring to the table? And if you like what she says, and you guys make a commitment, then you marry her. And then she gets papers. Here's the problem. If she's playing you, that's where my advice ends. There you go. See, Trinity knew what I was talking about. Marry her. Dennis makes me proud to be an American. No, CG, you make me proud to have become an American. Thank you so much. I really, man, I don't know why these people can't love Americans, man. You guys are wonderful people. Nobody has helped the world like Americans have. And I can say that very proudly, especially today. I'm going to tell you a story if you guys haven't heard me say this. Man, dinner's ready. Your Aunt Juana is talking to you. Hey, babe, for real, are you going to make dinner? Oh, my, she's passed out, guys. Not tomorrow when she sees this video, she's going to... Yeah, what are you telling people? Ah, man, that's horrible. I love my wife. Trust me, we're very tired. We work together. Not in the, like together, but for the same company. Very tired. I love having these conversations with you guys, especially when I feel like I'm reaching patriots out there. These negative comments, they dissipate just one compliment that I get from my American people. So I appreciate you all very, very much. You guys have been so supportive with me. I don't know how to say enough thanks. All I know is that you guys give me hope. And to be honest, there was a time where I was feeling a bit depressed, per se. I don't want to depress anybody on this channel, but I was feeling depressed because it's like, man, there's nothing that we can do, you know, and, you know, it's like, oh, man, this is so useless. Like, there's nothing I can do for this country. And then I went to Honduras, 2 weeks. I spent the whole 2 weeks with my daughter. I slept with my daughter. I woke up with my daughter. We went to have breakfast together. We went to lunch together. Everywhere I went was with my daughter. You know, you may have seen a live that I made from Roatan. I was at the hotel over there. I'm going to tell you something. Something so beautiful happened to me. I have not spent time with my daughter like this forever. And I didn't know how much I missed it because I've been always working. And I spent this time with her. It melted my heart with happiness. I don't know how to explain it myself. I'm sorry. But I was so happy. Guys, I can't tell you how good and selfish of a feeling it is that whenever she felt maybe not so sure, she always reached out for my hand and grabbed my hand this way. Not like this, not like this, like this. And she always hold on to me. And we will go swimming. We will go eat. What, do you like this food? Listen, your daddy, I used to eat this when I was a kid and this was my favorite. And then she'll try it. And I'll go to another place and like, look, I love this. Try it. See what you think. Oh, that's really good. She said, that's what I want. Okay. You know, so peaceful. I let go. I really totally unplugged. And I came back and I was like, what the hell am I doing? Well, let me start doing lives and let me see if I can find other Americans or other people, because there's a lot of green card holders too, right? Let me try to find other people that also love the United States and wants to fight for its freedom. Freedom is never done fighting. You got to fight for it every day. And it's like, well, what can I do? I can't go to the military anymore, right? How can I serve? I can't be in office. I mean, I need a lot of money. I need a lot of popularity. I need a lot of votes. I need, do this. And it seems impossible. But what can you do? Well, I mean, I used to do radio hosting, right? So I used to have my own little radio show for the Hispanic Christian channel. And then I have done my videos. And I'll show you guys some of my equipment. This baby It's so freaking heavy. But this is how I went and got my bird photography done. Wonderful. And I love doing that. So I've done a lot of film. I've done a lot of, well, obviously reading history, because I love that. But you know what? I'm just going to start making lives. And, you know, we'll see where we go with that. And I'm going to tell you, when I see you guys' comments being just absolutely amazing, it's like my bottle of water, you know, it's empty, and I'm in the desert, and all this negativity that the world throws at me, right? It's just like lemons in the desert, and you're just thirsty. You can't take it anymore. So what do? You just give up, right? And then you guys compliment, hey, keep up, you know, the good work, you know, we're with you, God bless you, prayers your way. And you guys keep filling my water with cool water in the desert. And I appreciate that. So that's what we're doing. Miguel Salinas is one of them. He puts scriptures for me to read. You know, he's always encouraging. Trinity, Omar, which I haven't seen here today. You know, Bobby, I've seen a couple of times, but he's not here. JD's not here. There's a few people that give me good compliments on my videos and all that stuff. CG says too much hate from the brainwashed people. It's true, you know, but that's what they think about us as well, you know. So where do we go with that? If they think we're brainwashed and we think they're brainwashed, how do we fix it? And I have tried, believe me, I have tried to make videos. Thank you, Skizzy. Love you back. Arthur, don't cry, my MAGA boy. Not today. I choke up with stories about Christ, but not on this one. At least not today. You know, I don't know. I forgot what I was telling you, but you guys messed me up with that comment. Edward, that's right, Edward. Sorry, Edward, I didn't mention your name, but yeah, you have become one of my supporters, and I appreciate you, brother. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate you. And by the way, I want to say thank you for your likes. Thank you for the subscribes. You guys already know this is how you support YouTubers. This is how you support content creators, by watching the videos, watching the commercials. You know, people give chats, super chats, whatever they can. That's all supportive. And believe me, I would rather do this 100% full time. And I tell my wife, I'd rather be, you know, listening to my news while I'm working out. I want to make my show in the morning, you know, from 6 to 9. I want to make videos because my desktop kind of sucks for some reason when I go live, but I want to make videos with other video clips so that people can see what I'm talking about, so that people can say, hey, that video that you saw, that's fake, that's not right, that's a lie, so that you guys can tell me that, and then I go and I'm, oh wait, what? And then I can do that. You see, everything I tell you, it doesn't mean that it's the absolute truth. My point on my opinion is for you to go do some research, right? So I would love to do a show 3 hours in the morning, record some videos to be able to release. Maybe I can do some premieres. We can watch the videos together. I want to chat with you guys, right? Moderate and all this stuff like Trinity is doing for me. By the way, Trinity, thank you so much for doing that. You are the best. Oh, you woke up. Are you going to make me dinner? Daddy's hungry. Can you make me a sandwich? She's going to make Daddy a sandwich. Oh man, I'm just joking, but yeah, she does feed me all the time. But make Daddy a sandwich. You know where that's from? It was the guy that has played. He's played. David, good girl. He plays the new Captain America. What's his name? The black dude. You remember he was on the show. He's like, so what do you want from women? Well, I want you to make Daddy a sandwich. I think that's how it goes, right? And she's like, but no. And he's like, well, if you need help with the car, who's going to do it? Daddy. Yeah, then you make Daddy a sandwich. I'm butchering the joke. It was perfect. He did such an awesome job. He was being interviewed on some show. I've only seen the clip, so but it was a great clip. David says, gracias, amigo. Thank you for flying the American flag, man. You are our brother. You are an American. Thank you, David. It means a lot. It means a lot. Carlos says, we are lucky Trump is 79 and the average is 72. Hey, no joke. Speaking of that, there is a show, a podcast show that you guys probably have heard of. It's from Valuetainment. Patrick, well, PBD, I think is what they call it. You guys ever heard of Miguel Salinas, brother, gracias, amigo. Dios te bendiga. Te lo acepto 100%, man. Gracias. God bless you, brother. Have you guys watched the podcast from PBD? I believe he's Iranian. He's an American, obviously, but he's Iranian descent. And he was in the military and everything. And it helps a lot, brother. Thank you. And then he was talking with his crew. Now it's easier for him because he has like 3 people on the show with him. So it's easier to gather notes, right? Go to the next subject. When I do my live, it's just me and you guys and a bunch of like literally thousands and thousands of chats coming at the same time for me. And so they're talking about Social Security being expanded, and they think that they should raise the retirement age to like 85 years old. They say because people are living longer today. And I'm just like, bro, I'm trying to retire at 62. Let me get my $1,600 check. I can live okay in some small island. That's not a problem. There's a lot of expats in the Philippines. Who knows? Maybe I can live on $1,600 a month in the Philippines, or even in the American territory. Who knows? Maybe even in Honduras, right? But I was just like, dude, 85 years old. What? Man, I don't know. You're awesome, bro. Man, anyways, I find that ridiculous. Do you guys think that they should raise the retiring age? I understand why they say that. Okay, if I retire at 62, I probably don't have enough money saved up. I do have a 401k, but I haven't worked, all my life for this company. And every time you work for a company and then you quit or whatever, you lose that money, like you get it back and then of course you use it, pay bills and whatever so that you can catch up with your bills. But I understand why they say to, 85 years old. But this is where I disagree. I disagree because 65 years old, says Samsung. Okay, I believe the age is 67. Braveheart, 55, that sounds about right. That should be almost there. I'm a Republican. We are not racist. Just those people are just like you. That's right, we are. Why do they say that? Because, well, number one, they're millionaires. They make a lot of money on their podcast and all this other stuff. Plus, they're entrepreneurs. They have like insurance company and they sell products and things like that. What do you guys think? Should I sell some merch? Should I make some merch to sell? I've seen guys do that, and I think that they do make some money with it. But 66 says, cool cat Rene. How are you, amigo? Good to see you again as always. Mr. Happy. Why is your name Mr. Happy and you come in here but you're not happy, man? You should be happy all the time with that nickname. Otherwise, change it. So 67 is the age here in Washington, I think. I don't know if that's across the United States, but 67, 65? No, I think it's 67. You get the full payment, right? So whatever it is for you, you get the full benefit of the payment. But if you retire at 62, they take like $200 or $300 less. So whatever you're supposed to make, of your Social Security retirement, that's how that works. And so I thought, if I'm not ready for retirement, I get it, because maybe that small check is not going to be enough for me to live off especially if I stay here in the States, right? But you have to take into account, what if I get sick? Of course, there's Medicaid, right? Whatever, all that stuff. But I don't want to retire when I'm 85 and I can barely move anymore. Like, I want to be able to retire young enough so that I can enjoy my kids. They're growing up, but I want to be able to enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Johnny boy. Whoo. Man, I didn't know you want to say food stamps, but eat a good steak sounds so good right now, bro. I'm so hungry. You have no idea. Why don't they teach this life skills in schools? They do. We just ignore it because we're morons. We are so retarded. They give us all this information to prepare us for life, and then we don't listen. We don't listen. There is such a thing where people, medium rare is perfect. That is exactly what I like. I don't like rare for some reason. I feel like a cannibal, but medium rare is perfect. Just enough red and enough red juice in there. Oh my goodness. Yes, you get to choose your classes. Guess what I wanted to be when I was a senior? And to be honest, I didn't really know what the position was until I found out what it was. And I thought, that makes sense. So they were showing us career day. They were showing Def. I would like to believe that I am a patriot, my friend. But of America and and Honduras. But I chose this profession. You guys know what it is, but I didn't know back then. But it said that it paid $100,000, $100,000 to $300,000 yearly, and I was like, that's what I want to do. Guess what the position was? Anybody? Let's see who we get somebody in there. It is in a medical field, so to speak, I guess. David Hughes says, you are a nationalist. Depends on how you see it, but yes, I am a nationalist. Now, I know some people like to put that in there with Hitler because he was a nationalist. The difference is he was a racist. I'm not. Nationalist means that we are for this nation first. That's why we say American first. And then once we take care of ourselves, Skizzy, it ends with logists. Yeah, 100K is good money. It's not bad. Saludos, Robert. How are you, brother? Glad you can join. Brain surgeon, Braveheart. I am not that smart. I have never thought I was that smart. Let's see, Anthony, USA. Amen. God bless the USA. CG says Dennis is too educated for these fools. CG, I appreciate the compliment, but I can be just as foolish as these people are here sometimes. And Trinity is my witness. I try to be myself and not let them take me out of my comfort zone. But what I did wanted to be was a gynecologist. Man, it sounded like a good career. And then I found out what it was, and then I was like, well, maybe that's why I thought about it. Edward, so you guys are talking about steaks. Shut up, I'm hungry. And I don't think my wife is making me a sandwich. I was just pretending to be, the man of the house. I don't know if she's gonna make me a sandwich. I said, make daddy a sandwich, but I don't know if she's gonna make it. I'm in charge because she says so. I love my crazy wife. She's Samoan, man. She's crazy, but I love her dearly. She drives me nuts. She knows she drives me nuts. But Edward, so there is over here at least there is a store that I go to I can't always afford it, even though it doesn't sound like much, right? But there is a store where you can go buy the slab of ribeye. I like to get the ribeye with the lip, the extra fat, because that's how I've been able to. Oh, Edward, man, who knows, man? You never know what God has planned for us, man. We never know. The thing is, you get this slab, right? And you get the ribeye lip. That one has the extra fat, and that's what you use to diet. Now, I've been able, believe it or not, I haven't been able to show you guys yet, but I am slimming down, okay? And that you can pay anywhere between $180 to $260, maybe $300 for this slab. But you cut your steaks. This is why it's cheaper. If you buy it separate, you only get 6 steaks for $300, right? It's expensive, hell expensive, like $50 a steak. But when you cut it yourself, you can airtight seal it in the freezer, and then you can just have one of them for dinner or for lunch, whichever one you want. But that's the diet. And then you take some, like for work, for example. So you can have a steak for lunch and for dinner. And then for breakfast, just have your eggs. But don't overcook them. They have to be kind of like a little rare, right? So it's runny. And it's really good for you. You don't want to overcook it. You want it medium rare. If you can have it a little bit less cooked, good for you. All that red stuff that you see on the steak, that is not blood. That is the acid that we need as males. This is for men, okay? Sorry, ladies. This is just for men. This is how we get our stuff. And that helps you build your muscle a lot better. And then it actually trims you down. Now, you do have to take some pills because it will plug you like a bear in the winter. So you got to have enough potassium, right? You don't want to eat too many yellow bananas because the banana turns into sugar. You guys know that, right? But you can have yellow bananas. The best bananas to eat are the green ones. So if you can boil them, I don't know if you drink the water, but you can boil them and they're really nice to eat. You can always add salt, so that's perfect. That will give you some potassium, or you just get the supplements. Make sure you get your potassium and your magnesium, because just eating steak doesn't have everything that vegetables will have. Don't eat vegetables. That's not the diet, okay? That's something different. Now, if you're going to work out a lot, I guess you can mix some more stuff in there, but make your beef diet more consistent, and that's going to help you out a lot. It's been helping me out a lot. Guys, I'm not going to say that I have lost hundreds of pounds. No. I started at 285. You guys have been on my lives before. I'm a witness. I just started my 4th week. This is the 3rd day of my 4th week, almost a month, right? I have lost 8 pounds. That's it, 8 pounds. But I've gained a lot of muscle in a month. I don't do steroids. I don't take anything else to gain muscle. And people think that, make daddy a sandwich, baby. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Yeah, I agree, Trinity. And remember what I told you. I want to lose weight slowly. I want to be able to, I don't know if you noticed the difference, right, on the chest, because this right here was like man boobs, okay? And they're starting to be more like an actual man's chest again. So I tell you this because if have been struggling with weight, don't give up on losing weight. It's good to be fit. It's okay to love yourself the way you are, but you don't become fit for other people. You do it for yourself, okay? If you ever put perfume on, do it for yourself, not because somebody else is going to smell you good. I use cologne, but that's because I like to smell that cologne on me. I think it smells good, all right? Hell yeah, now you're talking. Exercise to live longer, says Miguel, and that is true. Darla, have a good night. Thank you, Trinity, for pointing that out. Oh, good night, Patriots. Okay, I missed it. Good night, Darla. Thank you for stopping by. God bless you. Edward says, CG, I hope you can quit the cigs. Terrible. So, CG, you're a smoker, huh? My wife is a smoker, too. She lied to me last year. She said she was going to quit for Christmas. New Year's resolution, she says. I'm going to quit smoking. Well, I quit smoking I think I'm going on 2 years now. And one thing you got to know, I love smoking. I do. I like to smoke. I just choose not to smoke. And sometimes it's a little hard, okay? But if you don't want to quit, you just can't. You will never be able to quit if you don't want to quit. That's the fact. That's the bottom line. That's just how I talk. So if you want to quit, you will do it right away. There's other things that you can do to keep your mind distracted from doing it. Vaping, you're still intaking the nicotine, you might as well just smoke. Forget about the cancer sign. I'm not going to say it's not real, but anything can give you cancer. You get too much potassium, you get cancer. You eat too much oranges, you get cancer. You know what I mean? I'm exaggerating, of course. I'm just joking. But everything, too much of anything can be bad for you, okay? Like sugar. Like I said, bananas. I am a monkey at eating bananas. I just love the taste. I just can never get enough. I love the smell. Rush Bay says I'm too hard to quit. I tried many times. I know, it's very hard. Winners never quit. I use that line myself, but you know, my daughter, right? She's 12 now. And when she told me this, she was 9, and it took me a year before I listened to her. She said, Daddy, smoking is not good for you. I want you to live longer for me. That was it. That was it. I will tell you this. I tease myself sometimes with a cigar, right? Because you don't inhale cigars. So that is how I break saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to have a smoke. You know, and I grab a cigar, and I'm good. The cigar lasts a long time. You know, I can talk with friends. You know, we're out camping or something like that. It's a good time. It's a good time. I like it. So I guess in a way, I'm not like really quit my smoking because I've had maybe, I don't know, in the last couple of years, maybe I've had like maybe 5 or 6 cigars. So there's that. All right. YouTube says it's time for me to get off, guys, but I'm having fun having this talk with you guys. Trump is the GOAT. Edward Braveheart, we have to keep up the effort to protect our health. I agree 100%, but I'll tell you what, going outside can kill us. So I say enjoy your smokes, all right? I don't want to say I'm the reason why you smoke, but I can tell you, just be happy, mommy. Just be happy. Samsung, that don't matter. I sees he's brown. Pretty good, pretty good. I like that. Pretty sorry to disappoint you, but Dennis is a naturalized citizen on the portable. I love it when the law's on my side. I'm glad I respected the laws and I have a clean criminal record. I am a good citizen. Good boy. My mom will be proud. Thoughts on Venezuela? Gonzo, are you talking about the illegal Venezuelans that come here or the actual good Venezuelan people? All right, it doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you something. Venezuela, believe it or not, Venezuela, now this is when I was a kid in Honduras, and this is what we hear, right? Venezuela has had the most beautiful people in the world. This is the way they used to be. And I'm not talking about like Miss Universe pageant. Yes, of course, they have a lot of beautiful Venezuelan women. Okay, they're beautiful. But I'm talking about as a people. Hospitable, very happy. You know, it's a country of, it was very prosperous. It was on the same level with the United States, I dare say, minus the most powerful military force on the earth. Trinity knows I love saying that. I'm just so proud of this country. You know why I'm so proud of this country? Because when I learned history, when we got rid of the British that were oppressing us, and I say us because now I'm part of the history of the Americans, but if our founding fathers and the other Americans from the time, they oppressed us, they burned villages, they didn't care if they were natives or if they were American, they didn't care. They oppressed the people, they did all this shit, and they try to tax too much. And what's the problem that we have today? What's the problem that I have today? Too much taxing from the Democrat politicians. All right, but with that being said, when they left, they thought The United States is a small country. They suck. They're not going to amount to anything. And you know what? We tried to run some trading routes. They blocked us from trading with Europe. This is how evil these British people were. They blocked us, and they thought that we were going to just dry out. But they didn't know that God was with the American people, even if they didn't know about it. And I know Thomas Jefferson, and I mentioned this before, I recommend, if you haven't, I recommend you read. But Thomas Jefferson was the founder of the Navy. Our most powerful Navy in the world. And, pirates were enslaving Americans. Yes, African, black people were enslaving white people before we brought slaves here. And 10 years, we paid them $1 million a year. Back then, that's a lot of money. Big ransoms, right? But what the pirates didn't know, what the British didn't know, is that we were in the middle of building the most powerful Navy fleet in the earth. Of course, probably not back then, but we came, defeated the pirates. We said, no more giving you money, you bastards. We are here, free to trade whatever we want. If you attack any American ship, we're going to come over here and annihilate you, right? So we go in there, we free our Americans, and then we grab some African slaves because they didn't want to be there for two things. One of them, they were being mutilated so they couldn't feed their little ones. And the second one is you were born into slavery, something that didn't happen here in the United States of America. But nobody talks about that, right? Only a goofy Honduran American talks about it, apparently. But my point is, that's why I love America. Because people, the world has looked down on us and be like, this country, it's crap. Look at what Joe Biden. They were laughing at us, guys. They were laughing at us. I'm not going to lie. I was a little embarrassed. A little embarrassed. Just a little bit. What president farts behind the podium during a press conference? All right, that could be a fake audio, but when he went, whoo, they say he farted. I wasn't there, so I'm just going to, okay, maybe that was just made up. I'll take it back. But the truth is, the Chinese was laughing at him. Even Putin was complaining about him. And he said that's the reason why he went into Ukraine. That could be a lot of whatever, blah, blah, blah. I get it. Let's see, it's not America, you're ignorant. It's the U.S. I'm going to try to be nice. Al, what does this stand for? Oh, man, I don't know what country this guy is from. What does that stand for? I bet you he's Hispanic. Hey, Al, go ahead and tell me what the USA stands for. Bay, I hate when people protest and wave their flags. Yeah, they haven't learned, man. If you're in this country and you want to be accepted here, number one, you got to assimilate. Number two, you got to wave the American flag. I don't know about you, but if it was me, if it was me trying to get let me stay here, I'd be waving the American flag. I love the United States. Come on, take me. I want to stay here, please. I will be the best citizen you'll ever have. I wouldn't raise my Honduran flag, even though I honor it. But this is not the country I was trying to become a citizen to. It was the American country, and I had to respect that. So let me educate my little Hispanic friend here, Al. I said this before, but maybe the English wasn't as good as other people that are complaining about my English. The United States of America. America. See, there is a nationality called America, and there is a continent called America. There is also a Mexican soccer team called America. And there is a woman also named America. Is that good enough, guys? I don't know. Should I say that in a different way? Blood, yes. Burning the flag is legal. It is. And if you're the kind of person that would love to disrespect our military, all of our fallen heroes, and this country and the American people, by all means, go ahead and burn that flag. But the moment I see people burning my American flag, I lose respect for them. So if my respect is not important, that's okay, burn it. We need to call CPS, says, pretty good. I don't know, Purdy. You're going to get in trouble, man. Estados Unidos Americanos y Estados Unidos Mexicanos. Adam gets it. Adam gets it. He was here for that talk. Mega Man says it's my God-given right to burn the flag made in China. Yeah, man, come on. Be nice, bro. Hey, I haven't heard Tubby. I haven't heard that name for a while. How you doing, brother? Good to see you in the chat. Glad to see you're still alive, sucker. Much love to you, brother. Let's see. If someone complains about your English, just ask them how many languages they speak. Well, I mean, if they speak English, I mean, maybe I should speak in French for him so he can understand better. Let me see. The next one that says I don't speak good English, I'm going to speak French to you instead. See where we go from there. Potato says it's the First Amendment right. 100%. Jay, yes. Mega Man wants to burn the flag that was made in China. Not the ones made in America. That's where I draw the line. 100%. Trinity. Some people are still plugged into the system. They just can't unplug. Bay loves the USA. Attaboy. Jay says that my English is good enough. I'm happy with that. Johnny Boy speaks 6 languages. Man, I was about to brag about just saying hello in 5 different languages. But that's just hello. They're probably because of your complexion. First, Donald Trump, says TG. That's right. Oh, man. Dennis is an exemplary citizen. You guys hear that? Haters. You hear that? I appreciate it, CG. Much love. Much love. Miguel Hernandez says his English is horrible. It's okay, Miguel. Don't worry about it. We won't judge. But I gotta go to the gym. I gotta go work out a little bit. Well, not work out. I gotta go hit the sauna, do a couple of laps at the pool. I want to thank you guys so much. Had such a good time talking with you guys. Let's do it again tomorrow. I'll be on at 5, obviously. And Saturday, I like to do a live around noon, around 12 to 1, somewhere in there. And then I'll do my live at night. Guys, thank you so much for joining. Love you much. Miguel, thank you for the chat. God bless you. Love you, my brother. And I appreciate all your words, your kind words, your support through my shorts, my videos, things like that. I will make some videos, more videos with actual other videos so that I can criticize for you and that you can see where my information comes from. But for now, if I can do this full time, I promise I will do that more often. But for now, I promise to give you these lives so that we can have this communication and talk. And please, if you have something that you have questions on or you find it interesting, let's talk about it. And let's drown the negativity and let's just rise with positivity as all one family, the American family. God bless you guys, and may you guys have a good night. Be blessed. God bless the USA. Peace out.